Hi, and thank you for your use of Emmunize. In this tutorial, we will go over how to install the Emmunize software. Now, before you begin, there's a couple things that you'll want to have done. First thing is you want to make sure that you have all the latest high priority and optional updates to Windows applied to your operating system, either Windows XP, Windows Vista, or Windows 7. The next thing you'll want is to make sure is that you have your 32-character Emmunize license key. This 32-character license key would have been emailed to you after your purchase of Emmunize. Once you have those two things, you can optionally uninstall your current antivirus if you feel that it may interfere with your Emmunize installation. We recommend not having two antivirus programs running on a computer at the same time, but that doesn't mean that you can't get Emmunize installed first and then uninstall your old antivirus. Once you have all of that stuff together, you can begin the installation. For this demonstration, I'm going to use Internet Explorer 9. I'll click on Internet Explorer, and I'm going to go to www.emmunize.net. I'm going to click the download button. And with Internet Explorer 9, down at the bottom of the screen, you have the option to run or save the file. It's easier just to click run and then click run again. If you don't have the option to run, you can save the file somewhere and then go and find that file and double click on it to run it. I'm going to close out of Internet Explorer so I just have my installation up, and I'm going to click next. I can read through the terms and conditions, and when I'm ready I can click I accept and then click next and then click install. I can click finish, and after a couple seconds here another screen is going to come up to begin the configuration of Emmunize. Now I've got two options here, and with either one of these options they're not set in stone. You can go with one option and then later you can change it in the software. The first option here that we have is to have Emmunize display threat notifications, and like it says, it's recommended for more advanced users that are familiar with security settings. Now with this setting turned on, what will happen is if Emmunize sees something that is unknown, we don't know if it's good or bad, a hand comes up down by the time asking you to allow or deny the program to run, along with the name of the program. If you're installing software or you're running a program and that hand comes up, well, you know you probably are going to click allow. Now, a lot of people that have this set to display threat notifications, the first couple days or maybe the first week, the hand may come up a lot as Emmunize is learning your software, which is fine, but eventually that hand doesn't come up very often. The other option that you have is to protect my computer silently. With this method, if Emmunize sees something as a possible threat, it doesn't allow it to execute at all, and will give you just a notification that something was blocked. This is good for people that aren't sure when they should be running something on their computer or not. With either of these modes, it's very beneficial to go to the how-to videos on building your whitelist and using installation mode, because with either of these settings, the more you build up your whitelist, the less the hand comes up or the less things automatically get blocked on your computer. For this demonstration, we're going to keep display threat notifications, and I'm going to click OK. Now I'm going to go and get my Emmunize license key, and in your case you can pull up the email that you received, and here's a 32-character key, and I can right click on it and go to copy. Come here, click in the box to make sure my cursor's blinking. I can right click again and click paste. I'll close this window. Now optionally you can hand key the code in. Just make sure that you use capital letters and there's no spaces in between any of these characters. When you're ready, you can click OK, and it's going to check and make sure the license key is valid, and it's going to begin the installation process of actually locking down your computer and building a basic whitelist to your computer. This process is very, very important to let complete on its own and not to be interrupted. You don't want to shut down your computer during this process. You don't want to be trying to run any other programs during this process, or you don't want to try to stop it prematurely by going into Task Manager and stopping it that way. And what this process is doing is it's also scanning, it's doing a quick scan of your computer to check for any viruses or any tracking cookies before it finishes locking down your computer. Now with some computers, this can take even up to an hour. We haven't seen it be much longer than that, but depending on how old your computer is or how many files that you have on your computer, that's going to dictate how long this process takes. But like I said, it's very important just to let this whole thing go through and finish the installation properly. If you don't follow these steps, you can run into problems with Emmunize after you restart your computer. It looks like it's just about done. Okay, so it finished scanning the computer and building a basic whitelist, and on this computer it just found a tracking cookie. Didn't find anything as a threat or suspicious. Now, tracking cookies are always going to show up on your computer. When you browse internet sites, tracking cookies are not necessarily bad. If there is something that is a bad tracking cookie, we view it as a virus and we would block it from being put on your computer. But tracking cookies are put out there by websites to know where you're going, sometimes on other websites and sometimes just within their own website. But a lot of people just like to have that stuff removed, so that's the default action. For the most part, you're just always going to click Fix Now. You may have some threats or some things as suspicious. You can look through those and you can make changes by clicking this drop-down menu, or you can just leave whatever Emmunize suggested as an action. So I'm going to just click Fix Now. Now, another important part to this is letting your computer restart after the install. It says Emmunize needs to restart your computer. Your computer won't be protected until you restart. Would you like to restart now? And you will want to click Yes and let your computer restart on its own. If for some reason it's not restarting on its own, well, you can hold down the power button and shut it down and then turn it back on. So at this point, you are done with the installation and you can begin using Emmunize. If you have any questions or want to view any of the other how-to tutorials, you can go to www.emmunize.net and view that information. Thanks.